In today's video, I'm going to tell you about two of my favorite general use flashlights. These are great for RVing or camping, and I guarantee at least one of them is going to surprise you, so stick around. Well, if there's one thing you don't want to be when you're traveling around out there, it's left in the dark. So today, I thought I would share with you two of my general use flashlights that I've been using for several years, and I've got two because I think there are different use cases when both are important and both are valuable. The first is a headlamp, which is obviously for times when you need a little bit more use of your hands, you're doing something active, and the other is a handheld flashlight. And I say that these are general use because these are not pinpointed, laser focus, long throw flashlights. These are things that are going to help you see what's right in front of you. You need a broad spectrum of light so that you can get a quick task done, something that's not too detail oriented, but just enough to function in a low light or even really dark situation. So I'm going to go over this one first because this is my favorite. And just as a reminder, this is not a paid review. I'm going to leave links to both flashlights in the description below if you're interested. If you use those links to purchase, it helps to support the channel. This actually was a purchase on a whim at a Walmart in an emergency. We arrived at one of our first camping locations as new RVers and had an issue underneath the RV that needed to be attended to. So I ran to my local Walmart and I picked up this bad boy. It's made by Energizer, the battery company. Now I know, I didn't know that Energizer even made flashlights, but I've got to say, after 5 years in the toolbox, it's actually been more functional than almost any other flashlight I've ever owned. First and foremost, it's got an incredibly ergonomic handle with a trigger right here on the pointer finger. And because of this large base, the bottom of this flashlight is weighted. It's heavier than the top. So when you set it down, it doesn't want to fall over. It just sits there. Whatever you're doing, it's a little bit more stable than your standard flashlight. And I've appreciated that over the years, but the reason I bought it that fateful night was because the back of this flashlight has not one, but two magnets on it. But then when I got it back to the campsite, I also found out that it had a secondary function of utility that I was unaware of. This guy. It's got a hook on the top right there, built into the top of the flashlight, hidden and so well designed you didn't even know it was there, a little hook, so that even if you're not near metal, you could hang this off of a rope. You could hang this in the hood of a car in a little hole. You could hang this really anywhere. And I gotta say, once I found this, it was one of my favorite functions of the flashlight. Now, beyond this, it runs on 4 AA batteries. Twist the bottom twice, and this puppy is open. It's great for general use. It's bright enough, let me tell you, and it will put out enough light in a dark situation when you're out in the woods for you to see what you're doing, to walk in front of you, to get things done. It is not a super bright, pinpoint focus task light. It has a high beam and a low beam and then an off, which in today's world of complicated flashlights, I kind of appreciate because too many of them have the SOS blinker and things I just don't need when I'm grabbing a flashlight and trying to run out and turn the propane on the RV or something of that nature. It's made out of a rubber material, so it's really grippy, but like I said, the handle is ergonomic and it fits my hand just perfectly, and that's why it is my winner for the best general purpose flashlight I have ever owned. Like I said, about 5 years running, and I hope 5 more years in the future because I really like this thing. I might actually go out. I've just convinced myself, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Go buy another one as a backup to have in both the RV and the house so I don't have to keep moving this back and forth. So again, this is the Energizer HC-550 LED Flashlight, my favorite general use flashlight of the handheld variety. Now let's go to this headlamp. This headlamp is made by a company called Beeptrum, and there are many of these out there on Amazon, but I'll tell you why I chose this one. You see, for years I had the traditional headlamps that were simply an elastic band and a light up front that housed both the LED bulb or whatever kind of bulb they had and the battery on-off switch. I became a late night runner years ago and discovered that those were horrible for running or even sometimes vigorous walking in the dark because the top would flop and bounce as you ran or as you walked. So I looked for something that had an LED band across the top like this. So not only would it be a little bit more functional, but it also would be a lot more comfortable. So I came across the Beeptrum LED headlamp, and it's actually got a side-mounted battery pack and kind of task light. If you hit the button, you'll see you get a beam out of the front. This is the LED band, more general, and then you hit it again, you can go down in level, and then a third time you'll get the task light here. The task light is really for if you're doing some work, maybe you're doing electrical or you're up in an attic, you need a little bit more task light. So you have a couple different options for lighting. The back of the headband is padded, so it's nice and comfortable. And because the battery pack is on the side of your head, there's no flopping. You can adjust the elastic on the back to make sure it fits your head size perfectly. And I have found that because it's got this wide LED band across the top, it is much easier to use or to grab when you're running outside to do something maybe that you need both hands for. You know, in a camping scenario, this would be running out at night to, let's say, go to the bathroom. It weighs nothing, and because the battery is rechargeable, there's a USB-C here on the side, which I love. You don't need to take any extra batteries with you, and because it's LED, low output, it lasts a long time. So I've been really pleased with this combo of flashlights for general use. I don't have a lot more to say about the headlamp, but I will say that if you're going out on a camping adventure, if you're going RVing, I would recommend having both of these in your kit, because one is going to give you just a certain set of scenarios that it's best for, and the other is going to fill in the blanks. If you don't take a handheld flashlight, you're going to wish you had. If you forget a headlamp, then you're going to wish you had one as well at some point. So it's better to be prepared. Both of these are relatively inexpensive. I believe less than $20 on each one. And you can get them, stick them in your camping gear, leave them there no matter what you're doing. But I actually keep this headlamp in my car in case I need it. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget I left the links to both of these flashlights in the description below. Would really appreciate you using those if you plan to buy them and found this review helpful. Please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, because we have a lot more videos coming out 2 times a week for great travel tools right here on the Traveler Toolkit.